YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with the video where we're going to be talking about should the Washington Commanders sign Derek Carr, because there is a report that there are a couple teams that are interested in Derek Carr's services, and none other than our Washington Commanders are amongst that group. So before we get into today's video, I want to ask you guys do me a favor. Go down below, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. You want to be the first ones here because you don't want to be missing out on the news. Juan Gotti on the coverage every single day. You already know how it is. Now, let's get into this video. So, as we know, Washington Commanders, for the third straight year of Ron Rivera's tenure going into year 4, we still do not have a quarterback one. That is terrible. And with the newfound hope that Sam Howell is the franchise guy, which I hope and pray he is, just like 99.9% of the fan base, because that it is that 1% of the fan base that doesn't want to give Sam Howell a try and that wants to go get a veteran quarterback. But for 99.9% of the fan base, we are hoping that Sam Howell is the guy. Now, just because we think Sam Howell is the guy, or we want him to be, and there's been reports that Ron Rivera and his coaching staff is telling the potential offensive coordinator candidates that they are presumably going with Sam Howell at QB1. Ron Rivera is coaching for his job. Okay, with the potential sale of this organization. Okay, and if we do sell and the new owners come in, there's not a guarantee that Ron Rivera is back here next year. So Ron Rivera is going to do whatever it takes to get his job secured, or to try to secure his job for the next ownership. So if that means going out and getting the offensive coordinator that caters to do what he wants, and that's run the ball 2-to-1 ratio, and going to get a veteran quarterback that's going to run this offense to a T and lead you to a possible playoff berth, or someone that you feel comfortable with, let me just say that, then he's going to do that. And this is the route that I believe Ron Rivera genuinely wants to go. He wants to continue to go down this veteran route and try to find a guy instead of getting his own. But considering the fact that Sam Howell is the young guy and he has a lot of upside, and he hears that the fan base is who the fan base wants, he's probably going to lead towards him, as he already mentioned. But that doesn't mean it's going to stop him from going out there and getting a veteran guy. Do I believe Washington's interested in Derek Carr? You damn right I do. You dang right I do. They're interested in Derek Carr. They are. They want to get Derek Carr. Okay? If Ron Rivera did not have to worry about his job security headed into next season, okay, and he already knew that his job was secured, we would be banging the table for Derek Carr. And who's to say we're not doing that right now? I don't know. I'm just making an assumption that we're not. But who's to say we're not? I think if Ron Rivera knew he was going to be here next year, he would be the first person banging the table for Derek Carr. Do I want Derek Carr? Should we trade for Derek Carr? No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. Because all Derek Carr is going to do is have us in this hamster wheel that we've been in since Jay Gruden, bro. This ain't start under Ron Rivera. Statistically proven. Well, I'm not gonna say statistics. I'm not gonna say statistically proven, but I'm gonna say opinionated based on field performance. Jay Gruden has been better than Ron Rivera. But what has been the same constant from Jay Gruden to Ron Rivera? They're mediocre. They don't win more than 7 or 8 games. Sure, I mean Jay won 9, but that's still mediocre. Okay. No one goes into a season, especially teams with hope and expectation, which I shouldn't constantly put on this team, but I do because I always fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Any team with expectations doesn't set the bar at 9. So that's mediocre. But at least Jay was able to win 9. Ron is stuck at 7 and 8. And both of these guys are mediocre and we're average. And that hasn't changed. Okay? That's been the same since Ron Rivera or since Jay Gruden, since Bruce Allen. So since this culture was terrible. Nothing has changed. And in my opinion, if you go out there and get Derek Carr, okay, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing over and over. Why do you think he can't get it done in Las Vegas? I mean, the guy traded for his best friend, not him literally, but they signed his best friend, okay, and they weren't able to get anything done. Yes, I understand. Hunter Renfrow was banged up this season. Darren Waller was, but you have the best back in football this season, and Josh Jacobs in your backfield. I understand Josh McDaniels as a play caller was terrible, but what about that in years past? Derek Carr hasn't done anything since his 2016 year where if he doesn't tear the ACL, he goes on to win MVP under Jack Del Rio. Coincidence? So I don't want him, but I am not surprised that Washington is interested in Derek Carr at all. Ron Rivera loves his veteran guys. Okay. Jack Del Rio is his former head coach. It makes sense that they're interested in this guy. But just because they're interested in him doesn't mean he's going to come here. Doesn't mean it. He already knows he's going to get cut. I don't think they're going to find a trade partner for him. So he already knows that he's going to get cut. Okay, so that's why he's putting out his final goodbyes to the Raiders organization and stuff like that. Just because he's out there doesn't mean he wants to come here. But let me go ahead and quickly read this article to you guys before we jump back in it. So it says the New Orleans Saints, Washington Commanders, and New York Jets are considered potential landing spots for Las Vegas Raiders quarterback Derek Carr, according to Jeremy Fowler of ESPN. Teams I talked to expected of the Saints, the Commanders, and the Jets are all inquired to get Derek Carr. Carr was benched in the final 2 games of the regular season, and he wrote his farewell post this month that he is looking for a new city and a new team. ESPN's Adam Schefter reported Saturday that the veteran is expected to be traded this offseason earlier rather than later. The 31-year-old is coming off of a disappointing 2022 season in which he has averaged 234.8 passing yards per game and a steep drop from his 2021 282.6 yards. And his 86.3 pass rate ranked just 24th amongst qualified quarterbacks. So the Raiders are looking to trade Derek Carr. Okay, I said he's going to get cut. I personally think he might get cut if they can't find a trade partner because I don't think anybody, and we're going to get into that later, and I think they may cover it in the article. But I don't think anybody's going to want to trade for this guy because you have to give up compensation. The Raiders aren't going to just take anything. You're going to have to give up compensation, and not to mention this guy's contract is out of this world. But we'll get into that. Joining back into the article, the 3-time Pro Bowler has still proved himself in the past and would be a major upgrade for several teams looking to contend in 2023. Let's skip this part. We're going to go to the Washington part. Nobody cares about the Jets. Washington similarly had a quiet quality defense, 7 points allowed, third in yards allowed, but Carson Wentz and Taylor Heinicke couldn't do enough at the quarterback position to get an 8-1 team into the playoffs. And they talked about the Saints and Jets, so we're not worried about that. But simply put, Derek Carr, okay, in my opinion, would not be a good investment because, like I mentioned, you're gonna have to trade. Okay, you're gonna have to trade stuff for this guy, and not only are you gonna have to trade stuff for this guy, you're gonna have to take on his contract. Okay, you're gonna have to take on his contract, and his contract is out of this world. Let me go ahead and look it up and tell you guys what he will have to be given. Okay, we've already coming off of a year where we gave a terrible quarterback in Carson Wentz $30 million. something like that. You will have to be paying Derek Carr. He's set to make $32 million in 2023. He's set to make $32 million in 2023. Do you really want to pay that to Derek Carr? Okay. And then in 2024, he's set to make, do you hear the in my voice? $41 million in 2024. Are you crazy? Literally. No. Who's going to take on that contract, dog? Like, literally. We better not trade for this guy. We better not trade for him. If they want to sign him, if he gets cut and have him compete with Sam Howell in training camp, cool. But do not trade for Derek Carr. Because you're just spinning on this hamster wheel and you're owing this guy a buttload of money. If you trade for this guy, this is why I don't think we're going to do it. But if you trade for this guy, you're then kissing Deron Payne goodbye. Okay, you're saying farewell to possibly Cole Holcomb, Taylor Heineke. No, Cameron Curl is not gonna be able to get paid this offseason. He's gonna have to wait next year. Like, worry about your own guys first. And even after you worry about your own guys and take care of them possibly, don't get Derek Carr. There's no way we're looking up there and we're sitting there and we're looking at the potential sale of this organization, so you don't even know how much you're going to have to spend. Looking at the potential sale of this organization and say, you know what? Derek Carr is a hell of an investment. Okay? We already did this last year. We already did that in 2021 with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Who wants to continue to get these veteran quarterbacks? This is why it's important that we needed to get somebody in here like a GM or something that was a QB or just a good scout for talent. Because obviously Ron Rivera can't do it because he says he's the one that watched the tape of Carson Wentz. Terrible. Ryan Fitzpatrick didn't even play a game. And now you want Derek Carr, who is due all this money and he's performing mediocre. I don't want him. I want to roll with Sam Howell as my quarterback one. And if it's a boom or bust with him, okay, either he is going to be good and he's going to take us to a playoff berth, possible NFC East title, or he's going to be really, really bad that we're going to be in 2024 with the top pick and possibly drafting our quarterback of the future. That's what I want. I either want to be really, really good and go to the playoffs, or really, really bad and get a draft pick. I don't want to continue to be in pick 16 and 17 and 15 and 12 and 13 and 11 because you're not going to get nobody. And that's all you're going to get with Derek Carr if you trade for him. And you're still going to have to owe this guy $30+ million a year. That's ridiculous. So I hope the Washington Commanders don't make this move, but it doesn't surprise me at all that they're interested in Derek Carr. Let me know how you guys feel about this in the comment section down below. Would you want us to trade for Derek Carr? Let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section. As always, it's been Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, help to the Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. See you guys next time. Bye. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you popped. Get you popped.